I want to show you guys something right here. Let me go back over talking about DMCA. Listen to how this works.
Hey everybody, my name is Wes Keltner. I'm the president of Gun and co-creator of Friday the 13th the Game. I've been reading some comments on Twitter relevant to DMCA. There was a recent game and a recent streamer that got struck with a DMCA claim, and this was about in-game music. And I think there was a lot of people that
he got
were caught off guard by that.
He got DMCA'd for playing a game with music in it.
A lot of eyebrow raising was occurring on Twitter. I also saw some misinformation about that. I saw a lot of unanswered questions and assumptions. So I thought I would take the time to try to give a little bit of insight on how that works. One of my many jobs here at Gun is I also do the music direction for our games, which includes music licensing. I'll show you in a minute. Which I did for Friday the 13th, the game.
Yeah, he's got a nice mustache.
Alice Cooper's and the Misfits and several other folks are on that, on the soundtrack to the game. And that's licensed music. But we also worked with Mr. Harry Manfredini to compose original music for the game. So let's talk a little bit about the differences of those things real quick. So some studios may have their own in-house composer that they employ that person full-time. Right?
Yeah, he has a real job
there. And they will make all original scores and original tracks and stems and stingers, etc. for a game. Sometimes they run out of time or resources. They can't produce enough of it. So they may outsource some additional music to a different composer.
And this is what happens.
In that situation, the developer/publisher may not be buying the full rights to the music. They don't own all the publishing, all the mastering, all that stuff. They don't own that. They bought a license basically from that composer for the right to use it in the game. And usually that has like a time limit on it. That contract could be 5, 6, 7, 8 years. And then when the contract time runs out, they need to meet and renegotiate the terms, which means write them another check, right?
Give them more money, basically. Yeah, there it is.
Then they have to remove the music from the game.
Yeah.
That's basically the same thing that occurs if you want to license pre-existing music. So again, in our case, we wanted Alice Cooper, the Misfits, and some other folks. And so we reached out to their management and explained what we were doing, etc. And we got a license to use their music in our game.
This is crazy, isn't it?
What we did not receive,
this is the way the world works, boys,
was broadcast rights to go in tandem with the right to use it in our game.
Yeah.
Because developers and publishers don't broadcast their games, they sell them.
Duh.
Right? So that's another sort of misnomer that's mixed in there, is that for the developer publishers, they buy the license to put it in the game so that you, the end user, when you sitting home on your Xbox or on your PC, whatever, and you're playing the game, everything's legal, everything's kosher because it was paid for.
Of course.
But the minute that you hit go live on your choice of platform to cast your game, that's where you could potentially be at risk, because that song is, you don't have broadcast rights to do that. You don't, and neither did the developer or publisher.
You don't have the broadcast rights. See, that's the difference.
And there is a potential for the time of that music, like I mentioned previously, the contract, to at some point in the future no longer be valid.
Duh, dude.
So 5, 6, 7, 8 years later, you may have a VOD that's living somewhere that had a track that at the time was 100% legal for you to cast it even.
So you get DMCA.
But if they didn't renegotiate those terms, then the song was probably removed from the game, but it still lives in your VOD.
And then you get DMCA.
That's how you can get struck as well. So it's a very complicated situation that all parties are in. So what do you do about it, right? How do you protect yourself? First and foremost, I would highly recommend, if you're a caster and you're doing this like full-time as a job, as a career, then you should have some form of an entertainment/IP lawyer that you can contact and ask your questions that you have.
Just hire a lawyer. It's simple. Yeah, just hire a lawyer. Problem solved.
Definitely don't rely on Twitter, Reddit, etc. to get you the get you facts. You should talk to a lawyer.
Yeah.
What we did in Friday 13th, if you go to the audio sections and go to options, there's a little toggle you can toggle to turn off all copyrighted music. So Alice Cooper, Misfits, that stuff just turns off. It's not in the game.
Yeah.
We just did that because it felt like kind of a low quality of life thing for streamers, since streamers did a lot for us.
That does help.
It
helps.
They played our game, and
that's a nice
we shot
thing
up
for him
everyone
to
on
do.
Twitch, and it put butts in seats. You know what I mean? So it was it wasn't much for us to do
Butts
that.
and seats, that's what matters.
Should other dev studios / publishers do the same thing? That's their call. It's whatever they're going to do.
What they're going to do.
It's up to them. One thing I would caution you on is you shouldn't point the finger at them and say it's their fault, right?
It's not.
'Cause we're in a.
Yeah, it's not the dev's fault at all. Like they have nothing to do with it.
It's a weird
That's
situation because by the book, publishers and developers are doing the right thing, right? They're buying a license to put into the game, and then your end user licensing agreement that you tick yes to every time you set to play the game. That's all. Everything's good and legal, right? As soon as you hit go live is when things get into the gray, right?
Yeah.
And I would hate to see, if someone's out there trying to make a living, either grinding up through Twitch, or they are already there and
they're trying to do their best, man. They're trying to do what
healthy
they
lifestyle doing that, to have that taken away from them, just because they weren't fully informed on how this stuff works. But we're in a weird spot right now, so I'm interested to see like what direction this all goes. But I just wanted to provide a little bit of information to you in hopes that it could shed a little bit of light on this, because it's not an easy topic, and there's still going to be a lot more questions. I can't obviously answer all of them. Feel free to hit me up on Twitter if you'd like. I can help where I can. I'm not a lawyer, so I'm not going to be able to answer, somewhat generic DMCA, like what do I need to do to be, in the clear? I can't answer that. You need to talk to a lawyer. But just from the development and publishing standpoint, from making video games, that's why the situation occurred recently that you saw. At least that would be my prediction as to what happened.
That's why it is what it is.
Because I've had those kind of conversations a lot, both with artists and with legal. So again, hit me up anytime if you got any other questions. I'd be happy to try to answer where I can. But you guys protect yourselves.
I don't know what to say, man. I really don't. Like, I'm not happy about this at all. Like, they need to fix this. Just have a muted stream, problem solved. Well, it had a purpose, but it's out there. Yeah, I mean, I think the law is outdated. I think that's really what it is. Like, for example, if they wanted me to pay a license for, like, the same license that you use to, like, play music in like, let's say in, like, Macy's, or you use this license to play music in McDonald's or something like that, I think that you should be able to buy a license like that and then play copyrighted music with that license. Now, obviously, like, I would prefer to not have to do that, but I would be okay compromising there because I feel like it's the same general paradigm. But unfortunately, I don't know if that's ever going to happen. That's basically it. Streamers should be allowed to just purchase a broadcasting license. It seems like the best idea. And I think that would solve a whole lot of problems and just make it a lot easier for everybody and save everyone a ton of grief. Everybody wins. The record labels make some money. Streamers are able to play the music they want if they buy the record label music. Like, it just seems like an overall positive. I don't really see why they don't do that. It seems like an easy decision that makes not for beginner streamers. Well, you're right. And like, the thing is that, yes, obviously for beginner streamers, it does suck. But like, for beginner streamers, there's also probably a lower chance of getting caught for DMCA too. So it's a little bit of back and forth, but I do agree with you that, yes, obviously this is something that benefits bigger streamers more so than smaller streamers, because they have the opportunity to buy that kind of stuff, whereas smaller streamers might not really have that chance. It's definitely true. The thing with music licensing is, like, they have intentionally made it like super complex so they can like have control over the way that people do it. Like, that's basically what it is. Like, they've intentionally made it super complex, which is really unfortunate, but there it is. And create a new account on YouTube, but don't tell us. Well, YouTube's gonna have the same problem. Like, I don't know why people think that YouTube is gonna somehow solve this. YouTube has to follow the exact same laws that Twitch does. It's just that Twitch right now has a bad way of dealing with it. If YouTube got DMCA a bunch of times, they'd probably delete somebody's account too. That's basically it's some bullshit. As bars and restaurants have to pay for music, songs, etc. They're supposed to, but most bars and restaurants don't do it. Especially smaller local ones usually don't. They don't even buy the license. That's what I've heard before many times, but I don't know really how true it is or how legitimate it is. But that's what I've heard before from a lot of people. I know that like whenever I read stuff like this, it makes me think to myself, it's like, man, you know, am I going to have to leave the website? Am I going to have to like go somewhere else or something like that? Because like this kind of stuff happens and it just makes me nervous because who knows whenever things are going to change? Who knows whenever things are going to, you know, turn back around and get worse? And that's something that I do worry about a lot. Update, my channel was banned on Twitch November 5th due to music that was played on my stream many years ago from DMCA. Damn. That's too bad. You know what we need to do? I've seen how much money these politicians cuck out for. These politicians will cuck out for like 20 grand. What we need to do is we need to get money. We need to do a donation goal to get enough money to bribe a politician to change the DMCA laws. That's what we do. Oh, sorry, lobby. We need to lobby to change the DMCA laws. I think that's what we do. We fight corruption with corruption. That's the solution, boys. Yeah, a GoFundMe to get people to do that. I think that's a great fucking idea, man. What do you guys think? Call Ted Cruz? Yeah. I'll be like, Ted, can I give you like $50 to change the law? It'd be like, I don't know, I need 75. It's like, ah, fuck, okay. And we give him 100 just to make him feel good, and then tomorrow everything's fixed. I feel like that's perfect, man.